Just doing my little dance here. I like big bathrooms. That's what Ian said earlier.
That's right.
And Sean, we introduced that segment too. I know you guys really like that a lot. But one of the things we're going into right now is, and we were just looking at some of these beautiful units.
So nice.
The radiant rear kitchens, which are so gorgeous.
It's amazing what they can fit into such a small space. I mean, they're giving you more counter space, which is what you need when you're in one of these RVs.
Just a lot of usable space. I think having that U shape on the back and usually a nice window out to the, your gorgeous views you drove to, just so nice. I love those rear kitchens.
If you don't follow the Tilbys, Renee and Sean, they do a lot of refurbishing, and they really pay attention to some of the small details in some of the kitchens, like the backsplash, like all the things that Ian's going to show us here in just a few moments.
We really want a space that's not only super usable, but beautiful as well. And I just like seeing something that has a really great layout. I just love that.
And let's think about this. And you guys we were talking about this off the air. Season is coming up. RV season is coming up. Spring break is a couple of weeks away. Are you going to be ready? Let's get the RV that's going to fit your lifestyle. Right now, let's take a look at some of those amazing kitchens. Ian, you're up, pal.
Let's talk about some radiant rear kitchens. Folks, this session is all about awesome rear kitchen floor plans, and this right here is one of them. Now, when you think rear kitchen, traditionally you think big, beautiful countertops, and we have one of those coming up next. But I really like this session because I have a couple of smaller floor plans. We have the Passport right here. We have an Outback we're going to look at a little bit later. And both are pretty similar. But here's why I love them. Because it's a rear kitchen. It has excellent seating. And you're looking at under 27 foot and just a little over 5,100 pounds. So it's fairly lightweight. And you're getting awesome motorhome, folks. This one right here, as I mentioned, is the Passport 229RK. It's starting at under $32,000, which is like $7.66 a day. Let's start off right here on the campsite. And as I said, there's a lot to love when we're talking about these floor plans. We'll get to that rear kitchen that I love so much in a second. But first, one of the things I really enjoy when manufacturers do is this right here, which is give you a campsite dinette. And why, you may ask? Well, because this is the view that I want in the morning, right? I want to sit here, I want to have my cup of coffee, eating my breakfast. I want to look out to my campsite, see my dog laying out there, or, seeing the ashes of the campfire from the night before, or maybe the kids are out playing. I have a good vision right there. They can be outside, they can be at my campsite playing. I can sit right here with my wife having a cup of coffee, and I can watch them play and, let them do their thing, and I have eyes on them the whole time. So this right here is the view that I want. Maybe I have awesome neighbors, and I want to look at my neighbors for some reason. I have the capability to do that, right? But more often than not, this right here is what I want to see. And also, the dinette is plenty large for 4 people. So, if you want to sit here and have a meal with guests, you can do that. And even if it's just the 2 of you, I have a lot of elbow space that I require when I eat, right? Doing one of these, elbowing people next to me in the face. And this right here is absolutely perfect for me. I'm a little bit broader in the shoulder, so this gives me plenty of space. Now, bear in mind, if you do have guests, this does drop down into a bed. It's not a huge bed. They say that this floor plan will sleep 3, and it will. Just know that if you have an adult that's sleeping here, they'll probably have to curl up a little bit, right, in order to be able to fit on the bed, unless they're shorter, and then they'll be just fine. But to drop that down into a bed, you simply remove these posts right here. That does drop down. Take the back cushions, put them right on top. And this is, kind of like a synthetic leather, which means it's going to clean up nice and easily too, which I really enjoy. So, if you're having a little bit of red wine and you spill some, no big deal. You can wipe it right up. You're good to go. It's not like it's going to stain cloth or anything like that. If we take a look underneath, look at that, folks. This right here is my favorite type of under dinette storage, and that is a big pull-out drawer. Why? Well, if you don't have anything here, you have to lift up the cushion to be able to access things under there. 1, it's, kind of cumbersome, and 2, if people are sitting there, you can't access anything. With a door that just swings open, well, now I have to get down on my hands and knees like I am right now to be able to get in there and reach in there and be able to grab items. With this, I literally just pull it open, grab what I need, put it right back. I can do that on both sides. And so, for me, again, that is definitely the preferable type of storage there. Taking a look up top, storage on both sides flanking that TV. There is some additional storage back there, so if you have auxiliary equipment, you have a place to put it there. But the TV has a perfect shot right over here to the theater seating. That's right, we're in a smaller floor plan, perfect couples model, rear kitchen, campside dinette, and you get theater seating across from a TV, which is why I love this one, which is why for me, I call this the radiant rear kitchen, right? Like, you know, although the kitchen isn't quite as big as some of the rear kitchens we've seen, this is an awesome floor plan right here. Great view. If you have company, if you have guests, they're sitting there at the dinette too, right? You can have conversation. Everyone can be in the conversation here together. You have a center console, you know, so you have an armrest, some cup holders there. These, of course, both recline. And as we saw just a minute ago, you have windows there so you can, you know, look out to your neighbor's campsite if you want. Maybe you have buddies over there. And this side window actually opens. That's something a lot of manufacturers will try to save a little money here by putting in just like a standard piece of glass, or what they call a picture window, a window that doesn't open. But this one right here actually is a slider window, so that way you know, you can get some airflow into that slide, which is great. Now let's make our way back into the kitchen itself. So a couple different things. You have Dometic fridge, freezer combo. This one does run off both propane and electric here. Right up top is some additional storage. You can take a look at that. Right, nice and easy to get into. More storage over to this side. These pulls are very unique too. They're very, I don't know, it's like a modern farmhouse mix, right? Between the color of the cabinets, the pulls, you know, they're hard angles, making them a little more modern, but they're oil rub bronze, and they just kind of blend in really well. I don't know. I think it was an interesting choice. I honestly personally like them. You know, you guys let me know what you think. I absolutely love it though. But you'll see storage right up top there, a bank of drawers all the way down here. And again, you know, we can open that up nice and easy, running all the way down. The bottom one's a little bit deeper for some of your larger items. Big countertop space both here and in the back, and so you have good prep space all the way throughout. If you want a coffee maker, this is a perfect spot for it right here too, because you have that electrical outlet hanging out. 3-burner cooktop with the glass cover. That, of course, is recessed, folded up and back just like so. That opens up that grate. So if you have anything that you want to cook, obviously on the cooktop you can do so. More important, this front one is high output. So if you're in a higher altitude, you need to boil water, that front one will be the one that you'll want to use. Oven underneath if you need to do some baking. And of course, hood and a microwave. And then in the very back is the rest of the kitchen. And again, you have more prep space here. If you don't want the coffee maker over there, you want it here instead. Good news, you have an electrical outlet. You can put it there too. You'll also see an electrical outlet back here. So plenty of outlets in the kitchen. Storage all the way across the top. I mean, I'll open it up, you know, so you can take a look. Good storage there as well as here. Plenty of space for your, you know, your plates, your bowls, your cups. Underneath the sink, more storage there for your pots and pans, more drawers. One of the things I always say is you have to have at least 1 drawer in a kitchen, preferably 2. And folks, in here we got like 7. I mean, just a ton of drawer space all the way throughout. You kind of have this again, you know, almost like an oil rub bronze, almost into a black, almost like a matte black high-rise pull-out faucet there. Sink top cover. This is a cutting board. Now, I always recommend using one side, right, so that both sides don't have knife marks. So you have one side that stays pretty. Then when we take that off, you can see that big single basin sink. Now, because these are upgraded countertops, it also lets you undermount that stainless steel bowl, as you can see. So that way it's nice, easy cleaning, and when you drop this down, it's more of a flush mount. Whereas if you have, you know, a raised sink, you're not going to get that. And again, you don't have those, you know, if you have a top mount sink, you'll get the lips, right? The ledge all the way around the sink. You don't have that, really making cleanup super simple. Now, right in here is the bathroom. You know, this is, if I have a downside to this particular unit, this is it, is the fact that it is a little narrow right here, right? So, you know, you kind of have to do like a side shimmy. I mean, with my, you know, even with my big butt, I can still sneak in here, but, you know, if I try to go this way, it's just not going to happen, right? You got to do a little side shimmy in here. And then, but once you're in here, as far as space, shockingly, it's actually quite a bit of space. I mean, they cut out the countertop. You know, again, I have plenty of room here. I have no issues whatsoever. I don't feel cramped. Good shoulder space, good leg room. You'll see I have a little shelf there, so, you know, if you want a spot for toilet paper or something like that. You also have good floor space. If you want to put like a little trash can in here, you can. Or, you know, if you'd rather put it, you know, kind of tuck it away, you can put it right in there too. So a couple different options for that. I also like the fact they use upgraded countertops in here. A lot of manufacturers manufacturers wouldn't. They would go to a T-mold. So, and they went with a different color, which I think is smart, right? Rather than using the same color as the kitchen, something a little bit darker, which I actually enjoy. You get plenty of space for anything you need to set down, whether it's toothbrushes, curling iron, whatever it may be. You have a plug in there for those items as well. And then right up top, we can see the nice big mirrored medicine cabinet. Over to the side is our shower, and I'll take a step in here. One of the things I always like to point out, again, I'm 6 foot tall, is the fact that without the skylight, right, I wouldn't be able to stand up in here. But they did put this skylight in, and I'm pretty close to maxing it out. You might be able to be 6'1" and stand in the center. Any taller than that, you will have to duck down, but at 6 foot, you know, I have a pretty good free reign here of that skylight. I mean, no matter where I'm at in this shower, I can stand up without having to duck down, which is pretty handy. So again, folks, this is just one of many rear kitchen floor plans. Next up, we'll see one that's a little bit bigger. Then we'll see one, we'll have, an Outback that's pretty comparable to this, and I'll kind of show you some of the differences. And that's, folks, that's one of the things we're here for, right? We're able to help you identify. You know, you may see one and be like, oh, well, this is exactly what I want, not realizing that there's another product out there that has a very similar floor plan, but maybe one or two of the things you didn't like that this other one has perfected, right? So, you know, there's a lot of different options, and we're here to help you through that. All you have to do is text the word FRESH to 46642 or drop that word FRESH in the comments section below, and that will let us know that, you know, you're looking for our help, and we will be there for you, helping to navigate through all those different options. Another thing I do want to mention, folks, is, you know, while you're out there RV shopping, I mean, we all know, you know, RVs are blowing up, right? People are realizing what we've realized for years, which is that RVing is one of the best ways to make memories with families or with loved ones, and it's one of the safest ways possible to currently enjoy time with each other. But so many people are realizing that. So with that, you may be out there, you may have a current deal on an RV. Maybe it's this one right here. Maybe it's this, you know, Passport 229RK. I'm telling you, we will beat any deal out there. All you have to do, if you have a deal going, just text the word BEAT, B-E-A-T, that 46642, and we will beat it, or we'll give you $1,000. So I'm telling you, folks, take the challenge, right? You want to get the best value? We're here to make sure you're going to get the best price, or you will be $1,000 richer and still obviously have a great price. Making our way outside. So a couple things. One of the things I want to show is the fact this is a friction hinge door, which is great, because if you have kids, grandkids, they go to shut that door. You don't have to worry about plastic tabs or anything breaking off in there. When we come up front, you can see power tongue jack right there. You have the diamond etch plating kind of along the front. Right over here is solar prep. That's important. A lot of people want solar, so you can see that solar prep right there. So you can plug it in, trickle charges your battery. Fully enclosed, insulated, and heated underbelly. So if you're doing some extended season camping, it gives you the capability to do that. Big power awning, LED light strip, huge grab handle. This is something newer for this year. I love the size of the grab handle. The big steps here as well. You know, you have the upgraded steps right there. You know, kind of making our way all the way back. You can see the aluminum alloy wheels, electrical outlet. Coming around to the very back, you'll see your spare tire mounted right here on the back, as well as the ladder, because this one does have a fully walkable roof. And again, folks, this is just the first of several radiant rear kitchen floor plans we have. Got a little bit bigger one coming up, and after that, as I said, we have an Outback, and we'll take a look at some of the differences.
It's an American tradition, passed down from generation to generation. The love of discovering the outdoors. It's the beauty of nature as you walk the path of a new adventure. We're proud to be a company that celebrates the freedom of the outdoors and the journey of discovery along the way. Making sure wherever the road takes you, we're not that far away. We're Camping World, helping America enjoy the outdoors since 1966.
We are a country built on a pursuit that drives us to achieve our goals and reach beyond what we thought was possible. We are a country built on freedom, exploration, and the pursuit of the American dream. So pursue freedom in the great outdoors. Pursue exploration on the road less traveled. Pursue your American dream. Click, call, or visit your local Camping World today and see America for less.
Another radiant rear kitchen, folks, is the 2021 Keystone Hideout 28RKS. This one's a little bit bigger than what we saw. You have the huge super slide over here, massive kitchen countertops, great seating all the way throughout, entertainment centers in a great place as well, and you get all of that under 33 foot long and just a little over 7,000 pounds dry, which for the size actually isn't too terribly heavy. Another great thing about this one, folks, you're looking at a 78-gallon gray tank. So if you're planning on getting out there, staying out there for a little while, having that bigger tank is definitely a big bonus. Now, let's take a look at the layout itself. I talk about plenty of seating, and some of my favorite seating will be right here. You see that you have the Thomas Paine chairs, and oh my goodness, are these comfortable. Pull them out a little ways from the wall. You can kick back, relax, put your feet up, take a nap. Ah, yes. That is where it's at, folks. Get a couple people in here, have good conversation. Right across the way is kind of like a little love seat, right? Almost like a pseudo theater seating. You know, you don't have the console in the middle, which makes it the theater seating, but you have the cup holders on the side that are nice and big, the armrests rather that are nice and big with the cup holder. So if anyone's sitting there, you know, you kind of have like almost like a mid-living room setup right here, right? Couple chairs here, there, got the TV, put the big game on, you got a fireplace, right? Nice and toasty. Man, love it. Right in between is your little end table. So, you know, if you know me, you know that I like to have a little cocktail or two, have to have a place to set it down, and that's the place to do it. You also see an electrical outlet, so if you need to plug in your laptop, tablet, or anything, doing some work while you're on the road, or maybe just need to charge your cell phone, good to go. Huge window right here, and I love this too because that's right out to your campsite, folks. I mean, right now we have a wall, but normally that would be out to your campsite, and that's what you want to see. Because, you know, this is where everyone's hanging out, camping, having a good time. You have your fire pit, your chairs, you know, you're watching the kids play with the dog, right? Right there is maybe grandkids. Who knows? Maybe friends you met at the campgrounds. Maybe they're out playing with the dog. Maybe they're playing cards. Maybe they're cheating. Maybe they're out there cheating when you're playing cards. You're in here, you catch them because you have a big window, right? Yeah. Uno my butt. No, just kidding. You'll see right up top, you have a ton of storage right up there, all the way around the back here as well. Lights tucked away in the cabinets help brighten everything up. And I like when manufacturers do something like that too. Really just helps make the kitchen pop. You know, they could have just put wood cabinets up, but I like the glass, especially the decorative when it's backlit like that. Kind of reminds me of, you know, a lot of residential trends when you have like lit uppers, right? Like above your cabinets. That is exactly what that reminds me of. Now, before I hit the kitchen, there's one other thing I really want to point out, and that is this right here. Tucked away in that, right over there is your central vac. That's a great feature to have, folks. Especially, you know, when we're looking at the price point of this hideout. I mean, this one is starting at under $28,000, which is, you know, under $7 a day is where this one's starting out at. And for that price point to have the great features like the seating, this big gorgeous kitchen, and this central vac, which makes cleaning up in here an absolute breeze. Again, that's just a big feature to have. Now, when you talk about radiant rear kitchens, one of the things you have to have is a lot of countertop space, right? The last one we saw, not quite as much, but it's a very unique floor plan. But in here, I mean, you have countertop space galore, right? You have all this prep space over here, or perfect spot for a coffee maker because you have your electrical outlet there. All of this prep space all the way along here, which I absolutely love. And a recessed cooktop with that glass cover. It obviously can be used for prep. Got the backsplash, couple of drawers here, storage underneath the sink. Speaking of that sink, undermount stainless steel, very modern cut to it. That high-rise pull-out faucet here too, getting some of those, you know, kind of higher-end amenities that you want in a rear kitchen. And folks, if you take a look at the countertop, you'll see it's upgraded countertop too for a couple reasons. One, they put like a little decorative edge on here. This is the first manufacturer that I've seen do this. I forget what that's called. Is it a OG or Ogie or something like that? Anyway, but they put a decorative edge on it, which I really like, rather than just having it be completely round. Just adds a little something to it. Plus, it's upgraded countertop in the fact that it's not a T-mold, right? So you get like a pseudo-solid surface. It's nice and lightweight, but it lets you undermount that sink, which for cleaning is awesome. You don't have that, you know, the edge of that sink where everything's getting clogged up on. So big benefit there. Microwave and hood right in the back next to the refrigerator. We'll open this guy up. Norcold fridge freezer combo. You can take a look in there. You see that you have plenty of space. You know, this one is a 12 volt as well, so it can stay, you know, nice and cool just with your batteries. That will basically run that. Now, if you plan on going somewhere you don't have shore power, you are just running off batteries, I do recommend making sure you have enough solar to support it. Otherwise, of course, it is going to drain those batteries down fairly quickly. So, you know, if that's something you're looking to do, if you plan on doing a little bit more boondocking, again, folks, all you have to do is text that keyword FRESH to 46642. Talk to our specialists. They'll help you out. Make sure sure we're getting the right unit for you, as well as anything else you need, like solar. We can help you size those solar panels. We have people available. If you want satellite in your RV, we can help make sure you're getting the right satellite, whether it's roof mounted, whether it's a portable unit, making sure if it's dish or direct TV and how many TVs you want to hook up. We can help you with all of that. That's what we're here for. We're the experts in it. Lean on us. Simply text that word FRESH to 46642 and we'll take great care of you. You'll also see right over here to the side is that pantry, big pantry space right in there, folks. Taking a look at the Super Slide to have the dinette. I like these tables too. If you haven't seen this before, the reason I like these is because they can double as a coffee table. And what I mean by that, watch out a second here, Kevin. I'm gonna move this way, actually, over here. So what you can do is you can take this bad boy right over here to the side. And the way this table works, and this does drop down into a bed. You can leave it right there in the dinette and it drops down into a bed. But you have this little, this little yellow thing. So if you can find that tab, you'll want to, of course now it's not gonna work for me, but normally you're able to just pull that back and there it goes. And then you put your feet right here on the feet of the table. And then one of these two ways, just like that, it rotates out and around and down, right? So this makes it super simple. It kind of, like I said, creates a coffee table. You can put your coffee there. If you want to put a pillow on it, put your feet up on it. Gives you something to put your feet up on. It just gives you a lot of versatility. Now, as I mentioned, if you want to keep it in the dinette, you can drop it down and it will create the bed space there. But I like just being able to move it kind of in and out. The other thing I love about this seating, since we're sitting here, as I mentioned, is you get the big armrest with the cup holder right here. Now, because of the space, it didn't allow them to have a center console, but if you get a throw pillow or two, you can put a throw pillow there, and two people can easily put their arms on a throw pillow, and again, it kind of creates that theater seating feel. Entertainment center, front and center, right there. One of the things I love about it is you get a nice big TV, folks, 50-inch TV in here. I know we don't go camping to watch TV, but on a rainy day, this is a great thing to have, especially because, a rear kitchen like this with this mid-living is an excellent RV for entertaining. If you have a lot of friends at the campground or you want to bring some friends with you, maybe introduce them into camping, this is a good floor plan for it because everyone can sit around here, hang out, you can watch TV, whatever. You have the fireplace right there. Now, one of the things I do want to mention is this one runs on 30 amp, right? So what you'll see is right in here, you have a switch. So you can switch between the AC or the fireplace. I mean, I don't know why you'd have both of them on at the same time because it'd be weird, right? Heating it up and cooling it down, so it makes sense to switch between the two, but that way you can just still run off of 30 amp. Making our way up front, control panel right there, thermostat right underneath. The bathroom, I do want to show a couple nice features in here. One of the first ones is a porcelain bowl. And if you've ever seen my videos, you've been following along on the tour, you'll know that I like porcelain bowls because they stay cleaner, right? They're a lot easier to clean. Over time, the plastic ones tend to get a little bit dirtier and they have to be replaced more often. Porcelain bowl will just last you longer. As for shower space, I like to be able to stand up in a shower and I have no problem doing it here. I could be, probably easily 6'1", maybe 6'2", still be able to stand up in here without having to duck down. Now, if we take a look right in the bedroom, a couple quick things I want to hit on in here. So one, you have wardrobe on both sides. You will also, I'll show you this real quick. You have a little laundry chute, right? So if you want to put a clothes basket right down there, you have a spot that you can throw all your dirty laundry. And when we come in here, you'll see a couple different things. One, a spot to put a TV right here on the wall. Connections up top. Another big wardrobe right here, right? So not only do you have both on the side of the bed, but you get this extra wardrobe to hang even more clothes for those extended stays. And this one also utilizes the Blade AC duct system, which is a great system. It's much quieter than your standard system. The way they run the duct work, it's actually like 30 to 35% quieter, similar to a quiet, cool AC. And it does a better job. It actually has more force, so it actually cools the RV down quicker. So excellent system overall. Now, the features don't stop inside. We'll come on out. We'll take a look at what the Hideout has to offer out here. So I always like to start up front, right? And as we take a walk up front here, one of the things you'll notice is a power tongue jack. Now, you can add these aftermarket. They run about $300, $350, something like that. But I love when it comes straight from the manufacturer because this is a big one for me. When you talk about hooking up or disconnecting from your RV, this right here will make all the difference. It is so much easier. All you have to do is literally flip a rocker switch and it will raise and lower your tongue. You don't have to sit there and wear out your arm, just trying to work at it, just sitting there working, right? Nobody wants to do that. We want the easy button. That's literally what you have right here, folks. That is the easy button. Right behind that, you have two 20-pound propane tanks with the cover, rails there for your battery, diamond plating coming up the front, helping protect that front end from rocks and debris that may get thrown up by your tow vehicle. And you will also see the front of this, right? Rather than having your rolled aluminum, you have a smooth aluminum front. Not only does that look nicer, but also, the majority of the dirt and grime from traveling is going to be right up there, right? That's where all those smashed bugs are going to be. That's a lot easier to clean than your rolled aluminum. Coming around to this side, another great feature, you'll see this one is prepped for side camera. So if you want better coverage of your blind spots as you're traveling down the road, it's very simple to have installed. Again, the mount is already there. Everything's already pre-wired. It just makes it a plug and play, which means it's a lot less expensive for you to have that installed. You'll also see right inside there, it's a pretty big pass-through. I mean, even the height in here, you can fit some bigger items in there, which, hi, Jace, how are you? You might even be able to fit Jace in there, right? That's a pretty big pass-through storage there. So if you have some bigger items, you can stick them in there. Right down here is a power stabilizer jack. So again, folks, we're talking about easy use. Flip a button, drop those stabilizer jacks down. Things aren't rocking around on you. Power awning with LED light strip, upgraded solid steps. You'll also see this guy, right? Nice little leash latch there. So if you have any, we talked about dogs, you can tie them up right there, nice and simple. Outside TV if you want it. And in the very back here is the outside kitchen, folks. Not only do you have the big kitchen inside, but you have a fridge, cooktop, everything you need right out here, which is what helps make this one a radiant rear kitchen.
Hi, we are Crazy Family Adventure.
I'm Kenny.
I'm Brianna.
I'm Nox. I'm Malia.
I'm Craig.
I'm Carson. And we are bringing you RV Pro Tips. We'll be covering a full-time RVing with kids and also how to plan the ultimate RV family road trip. Come join us. All right, welcome to our Crazy Family Adventure. We have been full-time RVing with our kids for the last 6+ years. So why we decided to go on the road full-time with our kids and live and travel in an RV full-time was because we really wanted more family time, freedom, and we wanted to travel and see the world. Let me tell you, it's not all rainbow and sunshine. Parenting is still hard. We still have our regular day-to-day things to do, but all of the adventure and the fun that we have is just unbelievable. So living in an RV has its challenges, that's for sure, but overall it is just an awesome, fun adventure.
The thing that I love the most about RV lifestyle is that we can have a really slow-paced life. Brianna and I wake up every morning, we have our cup of coffee, we sit outside and look at a mountain or over a lake, all while not having to rush off to work or get the kids to school. The other thing I really like is to show the kids new adventures all the time, whether that's scaling a mountain, seeing wildlife, or sailing on the ocean. Whatever it is, we're making memories that's gonna last our lifetime.
My favorite part about RVing is that we get to play our games.
Oh no, I like that. Go, go, go! Come on, you're almost there. You gotta get them. Don't go to the store.
Come on guys, let's go for a walk. But one of our secrets about traveling full-time with kids is that you want to meet other families on the road. It makes it so much more fun when your kids have friends and you have friends. It's just such a great time when you can hang out with other families on the road. All right, so of course electronics are a must-have for kids, but they also love playing outside, which is why having this outdoor storage that we have filled with all of these fun things for the kids to do. We've got the balls in here, basketballs, we got their footballs, we got their bikes on the back, we've also got skateboards in here. So when you have kids, you want to make sure that you have tons of outdoor things you can do with them along with the indoor items as well. So one of our fun must-haves is a projector and a big screen TV. When you are traveling full-time with 4 kids and together 24/7, it's nice to have a place that we can come, shut the door, turn on our show or movie, and watch that while the kids are out there watching their shows or playing their video games. Plus, it works out really good if the kids do want to come in here with us and watch a movie, and we can take this down and the screen down and we can move all of that outside and have outdoor movie nights. So lots of fun things that we can do with it. So definitely a must-have if you're traveling full-time with 4 kids. You can think about red, you can think about pink, you can think about a horse, all the things you can think. So when it comes to school, we do something a little different. We unschool our kids. So you can't really explain what unschooling is in one conversation, but if it is something you're interested in, we definitely recommend you check out our blog, Crazy Family Adventure, and search unschooling. We have a whole list of unschooling resources that we recommend. But the short answer is that we don't use a curriculum, we don't start school, we don't end school, we're just always doing school. So one of the great ways that the kids learn is when we go to places like national parks and they do the Junior Ranger program. Also just going out and exploring and just having conversations with our kids. When we're driving through Yellowstone, we may turn on something like Gypsy Guide, which is an app you can download that just tells you things about the park. Plus our kids go on their electronics where they learn through watching different YouTube videos. They've also learned a ton just from playing their video games. And our kids have also taught themselves how to read. Seriously, no trained reading taught at all. So it's really kind of a way that you just learn through life. And it's not a hands-off type of approach by any means. Craig and I are very involved in the kids. So that's how we school our kids, again called unschooling. I will say we've been doing it ever since the kids were born, and it is definitely something that we recommend. All right, when we came into this RV, we knew we wanted to do a few renovations to make it feel more like home. So one of the first things we started with was this slide out area that we knew we wanted to take out the couch that was here and replace it with a couch that was more functional for our family. Came with a really nice 2-person reclining couch, but for a family of 6, it wasn't quite functional for us. We also added a side table in where we could put some books and things out for the kids to access. And we redid the dining room table area as well, just to make that spot a little bit smaller and to add a lot more storage instead of just chairs. We did a bench with baskets underneath it. We also did ottoman seats that you can take the top off and store things in. Then we also just added some shelves in to make things more functional for our family, so our kids have somewhere to put their water bottles and we can put extra food in. Just some really quick, easy things that we could do to really make the RV feel more like home. All right, we hope that gave you some great tips about traveling full-time in an RV with kids. So our RV Pro Tip session was brought to you by Camping World. Make sure to check out the other RV Pro Tip sessions brought to you by a variety of different RV influencers to really help you increase your RV knowledge.
All right, guys, now it's time for dinner, so you gotta go.
And here we go. So we may be standing here, and if you take a look, think, Ian, I feel like we already were in this one. And yeah, we were in one pretty similar, right? We had the Passport, which is a very similar floor plan to what we're in right now. Now, this is the Keystone Outback Ultralight 221 UMD. And as we go through, I just kind of want to point out some of the differences. As far as price point, they're, again, both going to be very similar. This one's starting right under $30,000, just $7.18 a day. For weight, this one's a little under 5,000 pounds dry, and this one's coming in at 27 foot. So they're pretty close, right? The Passport, I believe, is a tiny bit heavier, maybe a little bit longer there as well, which makes sense. As far as tank size, it is important to note, for me at least, this one does have a 60-gallon fresh tank. So again, if you're looking to kind of get out there, this one does have a little bit bigger fresh tank. Your gray and black will be at 30 gallons. Those are your standard sizes for this size RV, but you do get that bigger fresh tank on there. So what are some of the differences? Well, one of the things we'll see right away that it's very similar is the fact you get a campsite dinette here. Some of the differences, however, though, is that you'll see you have underlighting, right? So, you know, kind of spices it up a little. You know, it's a little bit nicer looking in my opinion. I like what they have done. You also have a wood-style tabletop on here. So, you know, if you're into kind of like that natural wood look, this one right here kind of gives that. Gives you a beautiful view out to the campsite right there. We can see that, and we enjoyed that in the Passport floor plan as well. So, you know, that, and again, as I talk about, that's one of the things I absolutely love about this layout. Even though, you know, it's meant to be a rear kitchen, you kind of get this, you know, mid-living feel, and you just get that huge open space. Now, this one has a dream-style dinette, which is pretty easy to make up into a bed. You have this lever right here. You simply fold that lever over, and it will let you push the table down. Obviously, you want to be out of the way and kind of lift the cushions up so that the table can sit right down here on these rails, and then put these back cushions on top, and that will create an extra sleeping space. And just like our Passport, you know, this one can sleep 3 people. And you know, if you're sleeping here, I mean, and you're an adult, you might have to curl up a little bit, but it does have that ability to sleep an additional person. You also see an electrical outlet as well as USB ports there. So plenty of options for plugging in and charging cell phones, tablets, laptops, whatever else you need to charge right there. You still have a big barreled ceiling, which is great. You know, it gives you a lot of head height in here, ducted AC. You have the blade system, kind of like we saw in that in the Passport there as well. So, you know, it's got an excellent AC system. It's not nearly as loud. In fact, all 3 of them we've had in this session have used that, which, again, it's just an absolutely awesome system. Making our way back a little bit further, your control panel will be here. You can also see your thermostat right up top. And now let's talk about the bathroom. So what you'll notice is instead of a slider style door, they went to a swing style door. And maybe you like that, maybe you don't. You know, maybe that's one of the things that help differentiate between the two and which one you want. Now you will see that, you know, it is a very decorative door, which I certainly enjoy. And also what you'll notice is, so with the Passport, it had a very narrow opening to the bathroom. If you remember me talking about that, because you didn't have much of a choice, right? You have a slider door, and to make the opening of the door jamb bigger, you have to make the door bigger to cover it. You just didn't have the wall space for that door to sit. So here with this swing style door, you can have, you know, just a small little wall, but create a bigger opening. And as you can see, I can actually fit through here. Now it's still a little bit tight, but it added a couple inches. And this is one of those places where, you know, those couple inches make a big difference. As we take a look right down here, you will see the porcelain foot flush lever toilet. I always love having a porcelain bowl. Again, it's when we start taking a look at some of the differences. You have porcelain here instead of plastic. And the reason I like porcelain is it just stays cleaner a lot longer, and it's just easier to clean, right? You'll get more life out of this bowl, and it just doesn't look as gross as a plastic will over time. Over to the side here on the wall, you have nice big countertop, and again, I have plenty of room for both my shoulders and my legs. I'm rubbing a little bit on the right, but plenty of space here on the left. Underneath the sink, you know, some decent storage there for all of your toilet paper. You'll see this is closed off versus open like we had in the Passport, but, you know, I still have pretty good storage space, and again, nice big countertop here too. Mirrored medicine cabinet right up top, and if I take a step in the shower, at 6 foot tall, you can see here, I can stand in here pretty easy. Again, I could probably be about 6'1", and I can, you know, without the skylight, again, I would be hitting the ceiling. But with it, especially right here in the center, yeah, but maybe 6'1". I think at 6'2", you'd probably have to duck down a little bit. So we have a pretty similar size shower there. And then in the very back, you know, I love the countertop space. You get huge countertop space right here. And I really like this because it's like a big dedicated prep space, right? You can see that. I mean, just a massive space right here. You do get the electrical outlet. So, you know, if you want to put a coffee maker there, you could. But I, again, would probably use this as my primary prep because you do get such excellent countertop real estate there. I like this too. They kind of put in the backsplash, right, to match the countertop. I think that was pretty cool. Again, something we see a lot of times in homes, but not very often in RVs. Windows all the way around to help keep things nice and bright. That high-rise modern faucet. You'll see you have the sink top cover, right? Instead of a cutting board in this one is a drying rack. You know, so again, some subtle differences right there. Storage up top, but pretty good storage. You know, you can see that you have the shelf built in, so this is great for, you know, plates, bowls, cups. You can basically fit the majority of all of your dishes right up there, which I love. And then over to this side here is the microwave. So a little bit different microwave positioning in here. Now, you know, I don't know if it's a really big advantage, right? So one of the things they talk about here is you don't have a turntable. It uses the diamond wave technology to be able to heat things up. And, you know, they say you get more space. I don't know that it would necessarily sell me on it, right? Still a very similar size box. You just have a larger bottom surface. But I'm still going to put a plate in there regardless, and a plate would fit on a turntable. But either way, you have the microwave right up top there. Storage here, you can see the hood. Again, more countertop space over to the side. Electrical outlet. If you want to put like a coffee maker right back here in the corner, you can. This cooktop is recessed with the glass cover. Of course, that just folds up and back as you would expect. Oven underneath. Pantry right here, right? Pull-out pantry. Again, we start talking about some of the differences. This is one of them. I think that's really cool, having the pull-out pantry. Perfect for a lot of your canned goods or Pop-Tarts. Right? I like to take Pop-Tarts when I camp. I know that they have like zero nutritional value, like zero, and it's even worse because I'll toast them and then put butter on them. But I'm telling you, for whatever reason, when I'm camping, Pop-Tarts are my go-to. You'll also see right underneath there, you have a little bit of additional storage. And then you get over to the fridge. This one has a 12-volt compressor-driven refrigerator, so a little bit different style fridge. This one will run off your batteries, and again, if you plan on doing some boondocking on this, in this one, you're definitely going to want some solar to help make sure that you're not running your batteries down right here. Now, big pantry space here as well. You have the pull-out, but I love the size of this pantry, so if you have like cold cereal, things like that, some larger items, you have a spot to put them, and yes, they did it. They gave me a spot for a trash can. It's not underneath the sink, which is, you know, one of my favorite places for it to be just because that's where I'm going to be prepping my food. It is a little bit further away, but I still love the fact it's a dedicated place. I don't have to have my bag hanging out, especially, you know, in a smaller RV like this. You know, that smell is going to fill up this space quickly, so I like that it's able to be tucked away. Theater seating. What you'll notice, though, is a little bit different right here. You'll see they put a piece of vinyl over top, right, instead of just having the hard edge, so that way less chance of, you know, stubbing your toe, tripping, things like that. But theater seating, extremely comfortable. You will see this is a little bit different too. Instead of having just a single piece, you get the full console right here in the center. Cup holders and a place to put your remote right there. But this is, again, a little bit bigger theater seats, right? You know, a little bit, if you want something with a little bit more space for your theater seats, this has it. And how did they accomplish that? Well, they kind of knocked out a lot of the bedroom wall space. You will see how open the bedroom is. They shifted the place the TV is. The TV is basically in the bedroom, and that functions as both the TV bedroom and the living room TV. So, you know, bear that in mind that if you go to bed and someone else is right here, you're not going to both be able to watch TV at the same time. Probably not an issue in this size RV. Again, chances are it'll just be two of you the majority of the time, but if you do have guests, you know, this might be something to think about. Storage all the way across the front. You also have the additional shelf right there, which is great. You'll see nightstands with electrical outlets, USB ports. Right over here is your dirty laundry hamper, right? Little laundry chute, so you can put a laundry basket in there, toss it right down. Your queen bed. Now, one of the other things I like about Outback is, well, A, it's strut supported, but take a look at this. You have a built-in kennel if you want it. So it can be storage, great, but if you have a dog, this is awesome, right? You know, I mean, how many times does your dog want to sleep at your feet, right? And, you know, but you have to crate them a lot of times in an RV because, you know, if you crate your dog normally, it helps them feel safe. It becomes their home. Well, right here you have that. You can put their bed and everything else right there underneath, open the door up. They have a spot that they're very comfortable with. And that way, again, if you leave, you know, you don't have to have this giant dog crate in the middle of your RV. You have one that's built in right there. I actually think that's really smart for, you know, people that love to take their dogs camping, which a lot of people certainly do. And when we take a look at the door here, you'll notice a couple different things. One of them is the fact that right here you can see this one has your the hinge on here, right? So that when you close it, you don't have to worry about clips or anything breaking off. Another thing that I'd like to point out, and this is something that's really minor, but something that I like, is it has what they call the slingshot on it. So you have the screen, and so, you know, if your kids come, you just hit this, it will shut itself, right? How many times, you know, growing up, I can't tell you how many times my parents asked me, did you grow up in a barn? Shut the door. Well, now I don't have to worry about it, right? Now I have a slingshot and it shuts it for me. Right up front here is your power tongue jack. That has light on there as well in case you're hooking up or disconnecting at night. Nice and easy to use, just flip of a switch to raise and lower the tongue there. Your propane here, tanks here with the cover. Right behind that, rails for your battery. Diamond edge plating coming up the front, helping protect that front end from rocks and debris to get thrown up by your tow vehicle. You can see I flipped the switch on for our front lights here as well, which really give it a sharp look in that front 3/4 cap. And that big black center is made to look kind of like a windshield that we've seen on some RVs. Great thing about it though is you don't have to worry about any chance of leaking, right? You know, it's just all one solid piece, which is great. Coming around here to the side, a couple things I want to talk about. You'll see battery disconnect right here so you can quickly and easily kill all power to the coach. You still have solar prep, right? We talked about that with that fridge, probably an important thing to have. You have it built in. Power stabilizer jacks, so that way you can just touch a button, it stabilizes everything out. You'll see you have the power awning with LED lights built in, so you can just extend that. Super simple. If you want outside TV, you have a spot to hook it up here. Black tank flush to quickly and easily wash out your black tank. Outside shower on the campsite could be a big deal. You also see this one has a bumper, which the Passport did not have. Now, folks, these are just a few of the things that I wanted to mention. These are some of the differences between the Outback and the Passport, but that is what we're here for. We can help you identify all of this. All you have to do is text the word FRESH to 46642.